Welcome back, friends, to the Walnut and the Oak Children's Storytelling Podcast. I'm Grandpa Banjo Bill, and this here is my trusty cat, Potato. Now, you've caught me at a funny time today. I'm out here in my garden, got dirt on my hands, tomatoes growing over there, and I was just pulling a few weeds when... Well, now, do you hear that? Potato heard it too. That soft little humming sound. That only happens when the golden storybook starts glowing, which means there's a new story waiting for us. Come on, friends. Let's head on up to the walnut and the oak together. Potato, you coming? All right now, here we are. The old walnut tree standing tall, the oak stretching its branches wide, and look there. The little door between their roots is glowing warm and gold. That means the story is ready. Let's step inside. There it is, the golden storybook. Potato, should we open it up and see what story's inside? All right, boy, let's open it up. Today's story is called Mariposa the Can't-a-pillar and the Power of Yet. Now that's an interesting title. I've heard of a caterpillar before, but I don't believe I've ever heard of a can't-a-pillar. Well, if I had to guess, it sounds like poor little Mariposa might be feeling like she can't do a whole lot of things yet. And if that's the case, I reckon that's a feeling a few of our friends listening might understand. Learning new things can be mighty tricky sometimes, but stories have a funny way of helping us figure things out. So, what do you say, Potato? Should we start reading and see what happens? All right then, friends, let's find out. Mariposa lived in a bright meadow where flowers stretched toward the sunshine and the breeze smelled sweet like clover. But Mariposa had a problem. She believed she was a can't-a-pillar. Every morning she watched the other creatures in the meadow. Grasshoppers could leap high into the air. Bees could buzz from flower to flower. Ladybugs could open their wings and fly away whenever they pleased. But Mariposa looked down at her little round body and her many tiny feet and sighed. "I can't leap like that," she said. "I can't buzz like that. I can't fly like that." And after saying "I can't" enough times, Mariposa began to believe it. "I must just be a can't-a-pillar," she murmured sadly. One afternoon she watched a butterfly glide across the meadow like a floating petal. "Oh," Mariposa whispered, "I could never do something like that." A gentle voice chirped from the tall grass. "Not yet." Mariposa turned and saw old Chirrup the cricket perched on a clover stem, his long legs folded neatly beneath him. "What do you mean?" Mariposa asked. Old Chirrup gave a thoughtful little rub of his wings. "I mean, you can't do those things yet." Mariposa tilted her head. "Growing takes time," old Chirrup said kindly. "Every creature you see out here had to grow into who they are." Mariposa thought about that word all day. Yet. Maybe she couldn't do everything now, but maybe that didn't mean never. Days passed, and something small began to change inside Mariposa. Instead of saying, "I can't do that," she began saying, "I can't do that yet." And sometimes it sounded like other thoughts, too. "I don't understand this yet. I can't remember this yet. I haven't figured this out yet. I'm not good at this yet. I'm still learning." It didn't make everything easy, but it made her feel hopeful, and Mariposa realized that hope was a powerful thing. It helped her stop bracing for the sting of failure and start seeing failure as part of learning and growing. And when she understood that failure quite often happens on the way to learning something new, it did not feel quite so scary anymore. It did not make everything easy for her, but it did make moving forward feel possible. One warm evening, as the sky turned gold and pink, Mariposa felt a quiet feeling inside her, a feeling that it was time. So she climbed slowly up a tall stem, higher and higher, until she reached a strong leaf. There she wrapped herself gently into a cocoon. And something wonderful happened. The cocoon began to glow, not bright and flashy, but warm, soft, golden. Inside the cocoon, everything felt different. Mariposa could feel tiny changes happening inside her. At first it felt strange, even a little uncomfortable. She remembered the words old Chirrup had said. Growing takes time. So she stayed patient. Whenever things felt confusing or difficult, she reminded herself of the word she had been practicing. Yet, I can't do this. Yet. And somehow, that little word, yet, helped her keep going. Slowly, something new began to form, something soft unfolding, something growing. She couldn't see it yet, but she could feel it. Wings, tiny at first, then larger, wrapping around her like a quiet promise. And Mariposa realized something important. All the patience, all the courage, all the time she kept going when things felt hard, were helping her grow into something new. Days passed, and one bright morning, Mariposa felt another feeling, a strong one, a ready feeling. She pushed gently against the cocoon. It didn't open, so she pushed again and again. It was hard work. Her little body wiggled and stretched and pressed. But Mariposa didn't give up, because growing sometimes takes effort, and effort makes you stronger. With one last push, the cocoon cracked, light poured in, fresh air touched her wings. Slowly, carefully, Mariposa climbed out, and when she opened her wings for the very first time, the meadow gasped. They shimmered with gold and sunset colors, soft, bright, beautiful. Mariposa lifted herself into the air, and just like that, she flew. She twirled once in the sunlight and laughed. All that time, I thought I was just a can't-a-pillar. She fluttered her wings proudly. But it turns out, I'm a can-fly butterfly. The meadow filled with happy laughter. Even old Chirrup gave a cheerful little chirp from his clover stem. And Mariposa understood something at last. That growing was already happening, even on the days it didn't feel like it. And that's why the word yet matters. It's a tiny word with very big wings. And that's the end of the story. Potato. What did you think? That's a good thought. Potato says, sometimes growing is happening, even when we can't see it yet. And that little word yet can make a very big difference. It doesn't make it easy, but it makes it possible to keep going. So if something feels tricky today, friends, try adding that word. I can't do this yet. And that's all for this episode. If you enjoyed this story, it's always lovely to share it with a friend. We'll see you next time, friends. Bye for now.